The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Pit Life BBQ podcast. Join us around the pit as we talk all things barbecue. Now here is your host, Johnny Maggs.
Kent, what the hell? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Life BBQ podcast. Coming to you live from the Studio 21 Podcast Café in Salem, New Hampshire. Chrissy, what is up?
What's going on, Johnny Maggs?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No, same old thing.
So I was asking Johnny before the show if he got any backlash from last week's episode. He said,
Nope.
Nothing but support.
A lot of praise.
Yeah.
You know, hey, Matt Pereira, for instance, hey, thanks for taking the heat off of me.
Yes.
You know, a lot of that stuff. But no, it was a great episode. Got a lot of great feedback. The phone was ringing left and right on the ride home.
Nice.
Dude, you went off. What the hell happened? You know, but yeah, nothing crazy. You know, but good, and it's a great discussion.
Yeah.
You know, and Matt had set me up with a guy I got to reach out to. He's a master judge, does both KCBS and SCAs, and you know, he's really down to earth guy, and you know, gonna get him on, have a great conversation. We're actually gonna work something out with Greg too, because he judged that weekend. And it was the first time judging, so we're going to get the first timer's view on things, how it was being on the other side of. So, yeah, we got a few things coming up, and I got about one more weekend, and my shed's done, so we're good.
Awesome.
You know, so let's see who we got. There's Mrs. Maggs. There's Kent with his typical. Yep, happy place, what's up? Matt Pereira, long time, no talk, brother. Couple minutes. Chris Hoffman, what's going on? Fellow postal worker. All right, brother. Big Rome, what's up? Heidi, how are you, darling? Stephen Townsend, what's going on? Robson's Grills, what's happening? Gray Reiner, what is going on? So, guys, we're going to have a good show today. We're going to learn. What are you doing?
I'm not drunk, I swear. I just hit the wrong button.
I'm looking here at the chat, and all of a sudden I disappear over here. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Sorry. It's been a long weekend for me, okay.
I
was at a music festival all weekend.
Hey, where?
Greenfield, Mass. The Homie Collective. It was good fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I just hit the wrong button. I hit upper left zoom, and I was like, oh, God.
But, all right, let's go there, kid.
Boy. All right, let's go. Hey, guys, did you know who today's show is brought to you by? Many people. But our number one guy, Uncle Steve Shake, also the number one best-tasting shake on the planet. Uncle Steve Shake is handmade, hand-measured, and hand-mixed, and hand-packed. Uncle Steve Shake is made with the finest of ingredients and comes in 15 amazing flavors. It's a Freudian slip. CJ's West Coast Shake, Texas Cajun, and the All-American SPG are the newest lines. The American SPG, having no sugar, no MSG, vegan, and keto-friendly. No matter what you're eating, Uncle Steve has a shake for it. Again, don't forget my personal favorite. That's not one of the shakes. It's actually the yummy, peppery barbecue goodness, the sauce with no name. If you have any questions, Uncle Steve has great customer service to help you with all of your shake needs. Go to UncleSteveShake.com to order your shakes today. Also, while you're on the website, you're going to find some fantastic tips and recipes. You'll be amazed at just how versatile Uncle Steve's shakes are. And while you're online, head on over to Facebook and join Uncle Steve's Shake Nation to stay up to date with all the latest creations made using Uncle Steve's Shake. And hey, maybe share some of your own. It's time to step up your backyard barbecue and your competition barbecue, folks, with Uncle Steve's Shake. Uncle Steve's Shake shakes them on everything.
Today also brought to you by Two Guys Smoke Shop and TwoGuysCigars.com. Whether I'm barbecuing or not, I always keep the smoke rolling. Thanks to my friends at TwoGuysCigars.com. Today I'm smoking the Rocky Patel's 60th anniversary, which is phenomenal.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I remember the 50th. I remember the 40th. And shit, Rocky's been in my life a long time now. 60 years old. Here's to you. Happy birthday, Rock. But thanks to my friends at twoguyscigars.com, I get to smoke some of the best cigars in the world, and so can you. Just visit twoguyscigars.com for your perfect barbecue companion. That's the number 2guyscigars.com.
Today's show also brought to you by MagnaChef Gloves. Whether you're the family grill master or a professional pit master, quality tools make it easier for you to be your best on that grill. Longtime firefighter and founder of MagnaChef, Alan Fontaine knows a thing or two about fire management. He's designed the MagnaChef Gloves and the Freedom BBQ Gloves for you to get in and out of fast. With the magnetic swivel plates, you can easily slip in and out of these gloves. They're going to keep your hands cool and allow you to cook and grill safely. No more getting stuck in hot gloves. Depending on your glove preference, MagnaChef Gloves has two fantastic options for you. The first being the classic MagnaChef BBQ Glove. This one's made of food-grade silicone, web fit for a firmer grip, dishwasher safe, one-size-fits-all, and heat rated up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And you have your second option, the Freedom BBQ Gloves. This one's a more traditional 5-finger flexible and pliable grip, 14-inch long cuff to protect your forearms, made of heat-resistant neoprene, heat rated up to 932 degrees Fahrenheit. These gloves help extend your time over the fire. Both styles of MagnaChef gloves are great for barbecue and kitchen use, so head on over to magnachef.com today. That's MAGNE chef.com. Order yourself a pair of each style. And at the checkout, make sure you use promo code FREEDOMLIVES for 10% off your order. MagnaChef BBQ Gloves, master the fire. Freedom BBQ Gloves, take a stand and free your hand.
Very good.
I got there.
You got there.
I just stumbled in the beginning.
It happens.
It's all right.
I do it all the time.
Normally in life, I stumble and then I don't catch myself. I just face plant. But I feel like I caught myself there. Who else have we got?
Also brought to you by CustomCuttingBoardsRUs.com. Brother Ian Hemming out of Magnolia, Texas, is making what I consider the Yeti of cutting boards. These boards take an absolute beating from the dishwasher board, which is your standard size countertop cutting board, to the absolutely massive 18 by 36 inch brisket board, and the pizza board for that perfect even slice every time. These boards UV protected, deep lip reservoir to catch all the juicy goodness, the rubber tips on the bottom, so even on a wet surface, the boards will not slide on you. Multicolors available, multicolor combos available. I have the black and red. Greg has I got the black and white. Greg has the black with the red reservoir on it. Custom
engraving.
See, I'm talking
Did you
about
go to
stumbling.
Music Festival too this weekend?
I must have.
Oh, yeah.
Custom
Where am I
engraving
saying?
also available. Team names, anything. Put the alphabet on there for all you want. They will take care of it. But check them out at CustomCuttingBoardsRUs.com. Let them know I sent you. That is CustomCuttingBoardsRUs.com, the letter R, us.com. Tim Rogers, Up to Barbecue. What's up, my brother? Smokecraft Q, what's up? Jen Lee, darling. How are you? You got to be running like a chicken with your head cut off right now. We are a week, 10 days away, call it, from the Danny Dietz Memorial.
Yes.
On not this coming weekend, but next weekend. I was on the phone with Ryan Newland, the back line, last night. He's cooking in it. Jonathan Barton's cooking in it. All the boys will be down there. And we're going to have to look on getting the New England contingency to travel down next year. There is a lot of guys, few guys definitely interested in it because it's a great cause, great, event. And Ryan's all thrown off because it's KCBS. Oh. So he just figured out that they're 30-minute windows instead of the typical hour and a half, depending on what sanctioning body he was cooking. He goes, I got to change everything up. I go, dude, 30 minutes. If I can do it, you can do it. But yeah, let's get right down to it.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all barbecue. We all love our charcoal. And we are geeks when it comes to charcoal, when it comes to our wood products. We like certain things. We like certain setups, if you will, in how we all do it. We got all our little whatever quirks when it comes to it. But we're talking charcoal today, guys. Very interesting. It's gonna be good. I've seen a lot of the boys using this charcoal. I had the opportunity to use it one night at one of the comps, and I absolutely loved it. So without any further ado, there's one of the users right there. Jeff, what's up, brother? Uncle Steve. There he is. So, ladies and gentlemen, from the Good Charcoal Company, please welcome Mr. Ben Jablonski. Ben, what's happening, brother?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing
great to meet
well.
You. And I'm a big fan, and congratulations on 5 years.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's still a wild one, to think about it. 5 years of doing this. Oh man. But Michelle, what's up, brother? So Ben, first off, as we get into it, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, and, how you got into barbecue. And then after that, we'll get into how you got into the wonderful world of charcoal.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me again. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. And, I'm glad to be not the only Australian on this podcast, which is great.
If you guys didn't know, I'm also from Melbourne.
In Australia, the seasons are different. So in December and January, it's really hot. So we grew up barbecuing on Christmas, on New Year's Day, and it was just what we did. And actually, my family came to Australia from the former Soviet Union, interestingly enough. Yeah, so we grew up grilling a lot of, in addition to standard burgers, a lot of Russian food, a lot of meats, and it was a lot of, skewered meats, and really just grew up loving it. And right now I'm the CEO of the Good Charcoal and co-founded it in 2020.
Beautiful. So that's interesting. Okay. So we got a little bit of Russian background here. What would be some of, you never really think of that. What are some of the dishes of the Russian culture that you would, barbecue or grill for that matter?
Yeah, so my memories of grilling were not with a green egg or something like that. Imagine a box, maybe some cigarette ash in the base, and, you'd have your charcoal, these very long metal skewers, and kind of cooking what we would call shishlik, like shish kebabs and things like that, almost like Turkish style, if you think something similar. Yeah. And we would just grill for hours, have a few beers, and a lot of that, whether it was grilled chicken or beef, or steaks, really over the skewers. And we would do it that way. And it would just, that's mainly what I grew up doing. But barbecue it's global. Everyone loves it.
Now would the flavor profile be the same, or would there be some traditional, I suppose Eastern European flavors that not a lot of people use?
My family loved to use some birch flavors as well from birch wood, which is kind of interesting. And but I've got to tell you, after a couple shots of vodka, it's hard to really taste anything.
I love it. Big Roma saying your charcoal's hot, smoke's clean and hot. Rick Mel, what's happening? Jeff is saying Ben is the best. There you go.
Jeff.
There's Daddy Dutch saying hi to everybody. So, like you said, you founded it in 2020, but what led you into getting into the charcoal business?
Yeah, so I had two real loves that I'm combining with the Good Charcoal, me and my partner, Rob. One is grilling, and the other is retail. So my first job, I stacked shelves, was a cashier at a supermarket called Woolworths in Australia.
Yeah.
And I was there for 5 years and learned a lot about retail and I, have been in the retail space for about a decade here in the States. And I just thought like there'd be a great opportunity to combine these two passions and make a great charcoal for people here in the States. And in COVID, COVID was a crazy time for all of us. And in 2020, I heard about this environmental problem that existed in Southwest Africa, where there was a huge overgrowth of acacia bushes. And these bushes are so dense that they're covering half the country of Namibia. And just to put some perspective around it, the area is about 2.5 times the state of Georgia, about 100 million acres. And pretty much these acacia bushes have gotten rid of all of the grass, right? They've gotten rid of all of the animal life. Animals like the cheetah are getting caught up in it and they're dying. Half of the world's cheetah population lives in Namibia. And so my partner Rob and I decided, you know what? Let's get on a plane. Let's check this out. Yeah. And we took 4 planes in 2020 from the States all the way to Namibia and, made charcoal under the African sky and slept under the stars and, we literally made it ourselves, together, with the, and it was a crazy adventure. And we're like, you know what? We're starting a charcoal company, and it's going to be called The Good Charcoal because this was amazing charcoal. So that's our story. And we thought, when I went there, I thought if all goes wrong, this is a crazy road trip, and I'll have a story for life. And if all goes right, we'll be on to something, and I think we are.
Nice. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, with the jaguar, the population and all that. Tell me you got some footage of all this whole process, because I can just picture you're literally probably in the bush, just making charcoal. Now, my mind just went 8 different ways on the same time. I'm dizzy. Oh, I hate when that happens. What were some of the, any bumps in the road that you ran in from making that first trip and making the charcoal right out there in the open? Did you, obviously you planned to bring exactly what you needed to go through the whole process, but, what'd you run into once you got there?
Yeah, well, let's put aside the fact that we need PCR tests at all 4 stops, just to get in, right? But there were a lot of things. There was one was like, okay, this is great, but how do we even get it to the States, right?
Yeah.
There were, figuring out trucking, figuring out all those things. Like a bump would be when we brought the first containers over, the containers got held up. People thought we were people smugglers.
Oh, yeah.
It was like because there's not much trade between the United States and Namibia.
Yeah.
And people were like, the people at the border were like, what is going on here? It was just like, they opened up the containers and saw it was just charcoal. There have been the issues are usually the ones that you don't even think of.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, wow. We've got a product stuck at the border. Number 2 was like, how do you streamline the manufacturing process? There've been so many things along the way, that we've just run into. It's been wild.
Yeah, that would be, because like you said, you're thinking of, okay, we're making the charcoal. How do we get it out for distribution throughout, back to the States or wherever? And the shipping containers, and you wouldn't even think that other aspect of it, of human smuggling, would get brought up in a bag of charcoal. But wow, that's mind blowing right there. So is everything made there and shipped over, or do you do a certain process there? Because I'm assuming, hell, even here in the States, there's rules state for state of, transporting wood from one state to another. Technically, you're not supposed to do it, period. But, it's very low on the totem pole of importance for most law enforcement. But, do you run into that? Is there, do you bring it to a certain point there, then finish it off here in the States? Or do you bring raw material straight back?
Yeah, so everything is made there. So one of the unique things about the good charcoal is that we're one of the only charcoals endorsed by an environmental agency, the Forest Stewardship Council. So we actually start with them, and they designate which areas are okay to actually cut the bushes. And so it's done in an environmental plan. And we then have an audit with them every year. So we work, and the facilities that we operate are actually also audited by the Forest Stewardship Council all the way down the line. So everything is done there, it is bagged there, and then it's brought to the States. And, we actually received for our work a grant from USAID, from the US government, for our development work in Africa, because in Namibia, we're running about 20% unemployment. And, so one person that works feeds between 5 and 10 people. So we're now feeding thousands of people a week in Africa because of this. And, we can talk about the good work that we're doing here in the States as well. But we didn't realize how big the impact could be. Like, I wanted to make great charcoal, right? And, but we really started to see, wow, like, we're saving cheetahs, we're feeding people in Africa every week by creating jobs. Like, we're also, people know it's an American product, and, people are just excited and, really happy to be partnering with an American company. Even though I'm an Aussie by birth, like, I've been here for almost 20 years now. And it's just been really inspirational just to see that on the ground.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Another aspect that, you're creating jobs, in that area. Now, is that area, is it a highly populated, built up city area, or is it more of a very rural, farmland type of area?
Yeah, so just to give you a perspective, Namibia is about 100 million hectares, so maybe 200 million acres, but there's only 2.5 million people, under 3 million in the whole country. Oh. And so it's very sparsely populated. And the people that we're employing are really people in very small farm towns and helping people in villages just to eat, and that's something that's really inspiring.
Oh, wow. That's tremendous.
You got to come to Africa sometime. I'd love to show you.
Oh, I would absolutely love that. Would be a trip.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Would that be a trip? Oh, Ray Sheehan, what's up? John Long, what's up? Brother Randy, Big Salinas in the house. Guy Chisholm, what's happening, brother? Yeah, wow. So you've literally just on the charcoal had truly impacted that entire area.
Yes, sir. Yes, yeah. It's crazy to watch, and there's the people. But it's funny, like, we started production, and I was there. A few months ago, I was in Namibia, and I was with one of the farmers, and they showed, and we were driving by, and I saw some zebras coming there, and I go, oh, wow, that's so cool. There's some zebras, and they go, oh, they're there because that's where the production was from 2021, and the grass grew back, and the zebras can now roam. So it's just insane. When you're running around in the country, and you're like, oh wow, the good charcoal created habitat for the animals to come back, because otherwise they'd be running through this thorny acacia with no grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Holy hell. Ben, you're blowing my mind here because there's so much into, normally when we talk with people in the charcoal, it's, we forest this and we get our product and we do. It never gets into, I guess, that aspect of it that you're literally, I forget the farming term. It's a certain type of farming that it's one area, like you said, this year. Then the next year it's in another area. So it's a constant rotation. So you're not just pulling from the same area and same resource. So that is amazing. Wow. You're really at a whole different level than a lot of charcoal manufacturers.
You know what? We're just doing what we're doing, mate.
Yeah.
I just think that it's unique and it's meaningful and it's meaningful to everyone that we're associated with, and we're just trying to spread that story, and it's unreal. It's unreal.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Efren, what's up, brother? And Big Rome is back at it. He smoked the brisket hot and fast in 4.5 hours. The blue smoke was beautiful. Darren Lucas, what's up, brother? That's using yours. So tell us a little bit more about the acacia. Obviously it's a very dense wood that obviously burns at a hotter temperature. Tell us a little bit more about those.
Yeah, so the acacia bush, first of all, acacia is actually the wood from the Bible. So when you think of Noah's Ark and you think of things like that, that was from the acacia. And so it's a very, very old wood. And acacia has a very dense wood. It's denser than oak or hickory. So very dense. It's kind of related, probably the most closely would be related to mesquite.
Okay.
But it's a little bit more mild than mesquite. And the one thing I like and we love about the acacia is because it burns very hot, it really brings out the natural flavor of the meat, by creating that heat, and allows people to say, you know what, I've got my flavor that I'm applying, and maybe you can mix some other woods with it, if you wanted your own, but it just brings out that natural flavor, and that's something that we love.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, and Rome is saying it's way more mild.
Exactly.
And then Jeff is adding it burns hot, so you're actually using less. So you're going to get more usage out of, a bag. Now, is it a standard 20-pound bag or?
Yeah, so we have different sizes. And by the way, Jeff, who commented, he's the captain of our pro team. So we're so proud of him and the whole team for everything that they're doing. And so, so we've got a 15-pound bag, and we're actually going to be introducing next year a 27-pound bag, a big one.
Okay.
And we have 8-pound. That's all in the lump. And we're actually also just now starting to launch our briquettes as well. And so that's going to be really exciting. So you're going to see that later in the year and also in the spring more widely. And our briquettes are really unique as well because they're all natural, right? And that's a big thing. Our briquettes are the same wood as the acacia with water and some corn maize and starch just to be a natural binder. So no nasties in there, nothing bad, just like natural and getting you that hot burn.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, the lump is his go-to for sure. No, that's beautiful. But, because, when I first was introduced to your product, obviously I had questions, and all the boys, they were great to answer and everything. And the one thing that everybody had said, other than, they got nothing but highest praises for you. You know, I've been getting messages. Oh, this is going to be a great episode today. I'm so glad you're getting Ben on. He's such a nice guy. They're a great company to be teamed up with, and all that. But the one thing they said was your company is very philanthropic. You do a lot of giving back to the community-based stuff. What are some of the things you do, and what led you to, putting that giving back into the forefront?
Yeah, so this comes back to the origin story of the company. We started during COVID in 2020, and we saw just out of our windows people lining up for food. It was unprecedented, the food insecurity during COVID. People had to stay at home. There was some government money, but not enough for a lot of working people to really get by. And we decided that every week we would take in a different city a barbecue food truck and bring it outside a different church food pantry or food bank. And when people were lining to get their canned goods, we would give them a hot barbecue meal from that food truck. And we wouldn't ask any questions about means or anything like that. Or we would just ask, how many people are in your family? And if it was a mum and she had 5 kids, or a husband and 3 kids or 2 kids, we would give that many sandwiches and say, you know what, in addition to your canned goods, take a hot meal home to your family and have a great night. And so we've now fed, that we started doing that. The first barbecue was in early 2021. We've now fed almost 40,000 meals to people in need, and it's just the beginning, and it's exciting. I was in Dallas last week. We were doing an event there. Janet from our team was in Atlanta, I think on yesterday. Every week we're in a different city and we're doing it, so it's hard to keep track. But we've been, whether it's been Alabama, whether it's been Tennessee, whether it's been Illinois, New York, so we've got to come by you and do an event together with you. I think that would be lovely. But it's been meaningful, and we insist that everyone that's getting involved in the company come and volunteer with us. Whether it's Jeff has volunteered with us, who's listening now. We've had people that are just vendors and contractors with the company. We say, if you want to work with us, come and spend a day, and you'll feel good about it too. Because I think that it's like, look, in the scheme of things, 40,000 meals might be not a lot. But if every company in America did that, we'd eliminate food insecurity.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really meaningful for me. It's really meaningful for Rob, my partner, and for the whole company. And it's something it's a pillar of our company and always will be. We started doing it before we had $1 of revenue.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. And that's what a lot of the barbecue, we call it a family because it really is. We spend weekends in, weekends out, with the same people. You get to know everybody really in depth, and everybody's willing to help each other, and everything we do is always, for a cause. Like I was saying, last week we were fresh off the Cora Care Ride competition up in Maine, and that was to help support the Shriners hospitals. And all the comps we do, there is a philanthropic side to it, and like you said, you're doing good, you feel good about it, and the name is perfect for it, But yeah, that's a great point. If a lot of the companies out there, and God knows there's plenty of them, do what you do, you could really, I don't want to say wipe out, but you put a serious dent in, the food issues that we have, a lot of families, especially, there's families still struggling after, the whole pandemic thing. There was families struggling going in, and it just made everything worse. But to hear that of what you're doing with, bouncing trucks to whatever cities you're doing events in, my hat's off to you. That's, you're doing God's work there for sure.
Oh, thanks, mate. We appreciate it. And for us, it's important that we're doing it with our two hands. We're not writing a check somewhere to some huge nonprofit where who knows where it goes. Like we stretch every dollar as far as we can. And we know that like an extra few dollars might be another sandwich. That if we save it, we can give another person a hot meal. So it's very, we see the value of it and it means a lot.
Yeah. Jeff is saying it was Connecticut, the event you guys came up for. But yeah, I'd love to do one, set one up. That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. So, like I said, you started with that, got into the giving back aspect of it. But you said that you're coming out with briquettes. Have you run into any issues with the process of the briquettes? But like you're saying, you're using, water and corn maze as a binder, a natural binder. Was there a little bit of a learning curve from going from the lump to the briquette process?
With briquettes, you need to be able to make the pieces all the same size, right? So it was picking the size, and we wanted a size that was good. And a lot of it is that when you when you're sifting the size of your lump, it's the pieces that fall down on the ground. They can be collected and made into the briquettes. So we're not, a big differentiator is we're not going to a lumber yard or getting some furniture from somewhere, I'm not sure where some people make theirs, but like those are the things. The other thing is that's really important is, because briquettes are really compressed, right, into that piece, an extra step in the production is you really have to allow them to cool off for a couple days after you make it, right? And because if you put that right into the container, after you bag them and put them too quickly, you can get a container on fire. So we don't want that. We only want the fire in your grill. But so that was those are things that along the way, we're like, these are really hot. So you've got to kind of let them cool before you bag them. And, so there's a number of steps like that we really, had to learn and had to test. And what is the optimal amount? And I think, like you said, a lot of us are charcoal nerds, so we're figuring out what's the right amount of time, what's all this. And so that was one of the key, lessons on the production side.
Now, is it, a standard briquette size, or I know some companies, they'll have a groove in it for airflow. Did you guys go down, do any testing on that?
We've tried a few different things, and we're kind of sticking with the standard briquette size. Maybe it's a little bit bigger than your Kingsford, but a decent size. And we're really excited to launch that. So it's going to be cool.
Is there a date, a tentative date you guys are looking at?
So we are in a very soft way introducing them over the next few months, but really spring is where they're going to be available to people around the country. Okay. In a bigger way. Yeah. Beautiful. So get ready for February, March. Because we're kind of in a lot of places, at least with the casuals, it's kind of winding down, on the grilling side. And so, the serious folks, we're grilling all the time. Oh, yeah. But kind of starting in, early spring, we'll be ready with it.
Oh, yeah. I get pick up the charcoal whenever I can. And, I get friends come up to the house and, they go into the garage and there's, just bags. There's bags on this side. There's wood stacked on this side. They're like, do you go through this much? I'm like, yo, fire up a charcoal grill in February and let me know how much charcoal you use.
Exactly.
They don't, it's not the push button and, fill the tank.
Right. It's funny, like in Australia, gas is still so prevalent.
Yeah.
The charcoal is really coming back, but it's amazing just to see how, gas is still so widely used, and it's not real barbecue.
Yeah. It works in a pinch. Don't get me wrong. That's how I cut my teeth, I suppose you want to call it. Growing up, we always had the old gas grill in the backyard, and you start your burgers, dogs, and steaks on that, and some of us are lucky enough to graduate into live fire. And God knows we have enough teachers.
Hats, the graduation hats.
That's right. We got plenty of great teachers in this chat right now. And it's great to see. Now, I know you guys are available in Home Depot.
So we're on HomeDepot.com.
Yeah.
In the stores, we're in Sam's.
Okay.
So Sam's Clubs, and we're in a lot of the Targets, and we've just launched at Kroger's in the South, in Dallas.
Okay. Yeah, because I was, talking to the guys. I'm like, I go everywhere. I haven't seen it. And they're like, they did certain things. It's not, full bore across the board. He goes, you can get it at Home Depot, but you have to order it off the website, and they can ship it either A, to your house, or B, to your local store, and you just go in and pick it up that way, which is how a lot of the companies worked, not naming any names, but there's one particular at Home Depot now that also burns rather hot. You could only order that online, or a specialty, a particular hardware store would carry it, but now it's on the shelves at Home Depot. I noticed this year, as a matter of fact,
a lot of the retailers will kind of look at how are things going online and decide that way. That's a common way that things work in retail. But in charcoal, it's a bit different because 99% of charcoal is bought in person.
Yeah.
And that's how we do it. Like, we have a grill, you get it, you get your bag, you throw it in your car, and that's how most of it's done. So it's kind of unusual, but that's, retailers, a lot of them think in that way, and they apply that formula across. And so you got to work in that construct. But expect to see us. I can't be public about the locations yet, but when we can, you'll be first to know. But expect to see it in more and more stores next year. We've done some great deals over the summer, and it'll be in more and more locations physically next year in the spring.
Beautiful, beautiful. Because we all have the same messages going back and forth. The text message would go through, "Hey boys, I was just at such and such, and they have this one, or this particular hardware store has this in oak, or they have this in hickory." The messages are constantly flowing around, which is great. But yeah, oh man, Ben, I've learned so much more that not even like you were saying with the acacia and how you started it. That's fascinating to me. That truly is. And then the philanthropic aspect of it. Like I said, my hat's off to you on that. Continued doing what you're doing, the goodness that you're giving back to the communities everywhere. You should be truly commended for what you and your team are doing, for sure.
Thanks, mate. Well, so much of charcoal is about cooking over fire, is about connecting to nature and connecting to how things, should be. And we're really connecting to nature.
Oh, for sure.
We're going all the way back
Yeah.
and doing it.
Because, like I had said before, I talked to, numerous people, and we source our species from here, and I bring it to our, manufacturing facilities here, and man, you're getting right down into the dirt. I love it. I love it. Like I said, Ben, thank you so much for your team reaching out. This was an absolute pleasure and an honor. Where can everybody find you social media-wise?
So on Instagram, we're at The Good Charcoal, and we're also at thegoodcharcoal.com.
Beautiful, beautiful, folks. Go check that out. Check your local Sam's and stores, and be on the lookout in the spring for more locations. Give it a shot. It's a damn good charcoal. Oh, there he is. Dan Kimball. What's up, brother? We were talking about you earlier. But yeah, Ben, thank you so much for taking the time. This has been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks so much, mate.
No worries. Hang on 1 second. I'll jump right back in with you. Awesome, Chrissy.
That was cool.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Like I said, when it comes down to it, we're really geeks on everything that we do.
Yeah.
From the, the type of meats we're cooking, like I said, down to the charcoal, down to the wood, and how it's manufactured. And that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Literally, my brain went, I forget what he said, but my brain went 8 different ways going.
I know, I saw it.
Holy, you saw it happen?
Yeah.
You saw the,
Yeah, I saw the stutter of the brain. Like, I don't know which way to go.
which way to go on
Yeah.
this? But, that stuff, it's fascinating
Yeah.
to me. From the beginning, and then everything, with the food trucks into the neighborhoods.
Oh,
and,
I know.
that's
incredible.
tremendous work. That's tremendous, and
We
that's what it's
Aussies,
all about.
What a good bunch. Huh?
Yeah, you guys are all right. You're growing on me.
Good. All right. Well, that's it. What do we got coming up?
Well, obviously, I'm gonna choke again. Next week's probably gonna be a shit show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I forgot about that.
Oh,
I've been so busy with the comps and building the shed.
Yes.
We got another day after the holiday.
Oh boy.
So
Stay tuned to find out what
stay
happens.
tuned to
next week.
find out if anything's going to happen. The way it's looking with the end of the vacations, because everyone catches this week to catch Labor Day.
Yeah.
And everyone catches next week to catch that free day on Monday.
Yep.
So I'm probably going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be a repeat.
Okay.
But
if
folks,
it is, it'll be a good one.
That's it. Actually, hit me up, guys. Let me know if you guys had a favorite episode.
Oh, what a good idea.
And we can run that one.
Yeah.
Because it's probably not going to look great, but we'll be back to live the week after that.
Yeah, reach out to Johnny for sure on Facebook. Let him know what your favorite episode was, and we'll see. We'll take a tally.
Because there's
whoever wins will run it.
263 of them.
I know.
You can pick.
Fantastic.
Well, that's it for this week, folks. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Catch the audio wherever podcasts are found. Catch the video on Facebook and YouTube. On YouTube, hit that subscribe button, notification bell. You have all the episodes right at your fingertips. Find all the social media links listed down below. Questions and comments, please send them to Pit Life BBQ Podcast at gmail.com. Like always, subscribe, like, rate, and review. Hit that share button. And until next week, keep the smoke rolling.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.